Looking for a workout to strengthen your abdominals as well. Looking for a workout that's going to help. Looking for a workout that helps. Looking for a workout that's going to help strengthen your core? Well, save this video. We're going to be going over 3 different exercises and a little core circuit that you can incorporate into your routine. It doesn't require any equipment. I'll show you guys some options and modifications as well. Let's get started. Now, the first exercise I'm going to demonstrate on the bench, and I'll also demonstrate on the floor. The bench just allows me to demonstrate it, but it also gives you an option if you can't get down to the floor and you have a hard time getting down there. So that first exercise is going to be a Russian twist. So this is a great exercise for the obliques and the core. I'm essentially going to be on my sit bones and I'm going to lift my legs, balance myself here. Now, if you're relatively new to doing this movement, doing it off of a bench can be helpful because you can obviously touch the floor, but it requires you to be a little more elevated with your torso versus the variation that I'll show on the floor here in a second. So Russian twist, you'll essentially elevate your legs. You can extend them as far out as you want, but we're just going to hold this position and then you're going to twist from the right or from the left to the right, going back and forth, right? Now this will pitch you forward if you don't have enough strength to keep your legs and core up or leg and hip flexors up. So again, this is an option modification. You can always put one foot down as well to do the Russian twist. I'll give you guys the rep scheme here shortly. Now let's demonstrate on the floor. So typically when I do Russian twists, I do perform them on the floor. Sometimes I'll do them off of a bench. It allows me to be a little more elevated. But the Russian twist here will give you a little more stability. Sit bones on the floor. Same thing, rotate from right to left. I'm getting my fingertips to the floor. Feet are elevated off the ground. If you want, you can also drop one leg, drop 2 legs. That will give you a little bit of stability as well. You will feel this in your hip flexors, right? Hip flexors are part of your core exercise, or part of your core in terms of your body, right? But again, rotation. If you do have a dumbbell and you want to amplify this and you want to add the dumbbell in, just grab one hand to each dumbbell head and do the rotations. You will not go to the floor for that exercise. The second one is going to be a side plank rotation. So we're going to target a little bit more of the obliques. So in the side plank, a couple different options. We can do from your palm and forearm, right? So palm, forearm, and elbow underneath. On the floor, elbow underneath the shoulders. I can split stance my feet like so and lift my hips. We want to make sure that our hips are in line with the shoulders and then you're not dropping back or dropping forward. So if you feel like this is really challenging, you can drop to the knees, tuck your toes and feet behind you, and come to the side plank. We want to see hips, knees, and shoulder relatively close versus the butt being pushed back, hips behind you. So think of bringing the hips forward. Another option if you want is to stack the feet on top of each other in that side plank position. From here, arms elevated, fingertips are going to twist, rotate down through your elbow and core. And you're just going to do those side plank rotations. Again, I'll give you everything here in a second. Then we'll switch as soon as you give the time rotation, and we'll do the same thing on the opposite side plank rotations. Now, some people may ask, well, can I do it on my palm? You could if you really wanted, but I highly recommend the elbow and forearm on the ground. The only reason is you're gonna be a little more elevated here. It's gonna put a lot of pressure on your wrists, and it's a little less stable because the less surface area of your palm is touching the floor versus the palm and forearm and elbow for that. Also note that you want your elbow underneath the shoulder for those side plank rotations. Last thing is going to be hollow rocks. Now I'm going to give you guys a couple modifications here for the hollow rocks. The hollow rock, we'll either do a hollow rock, a hollow tuck, or we can do a hollow tuck hold as an option or modification if that first 2 options are difficult. So in that hollow hold position, we're going to start in the tuck position and go out. So from here, I'm in this tuck position where I'm placing my lower back on the floor. I'm pulling my upper rib cage in, pushing this in, and kind of tucking my pelvis. So this is a hollow tuck hold. This is always a go-to if need be. From here, if this is pretty easy and you want to make it more challenging, extend one leg, knee in on the opposite leg as a jackknife position. That feels good. You want more? Extend the arms behind you, palms facing each other. If you want even more, extend both legs. This is the hollow hold position. Something to note is if I try to slide my hand underneath my lower back, I cannot get there. So you really want to ensure that lower back is pressed in. If you start to break and you can't hold that position, then pull back and find the variation that works for you. Now that is just a hold. That is a modification that you can do for today. But the rock is where we're going to rock from our hips to our shoulders. Give it a little space so you guys can see. But in this position, that hollow rock position, I'm keeping my pelvis tucked, rib cage in, and I'm rocking from my hips to my shoulders, keeping my entire body straight versus my legs and arms moving like so. So my legs and arms are set pretty much, and I'm just using my torso to rock from my hips. Now, I'm gonna give you guys 2 different variations of the workout. One is gonna be 30 seconds, the other one's gonna be a minute. So That first workout would be 1 minute of Russian twists, 1 minute of side plank on one arm, 1 minute of a side plank on the other arm, and then you're going to do 1 minute of the hollow rocks, right? That's 4 minutes of work. You're gonna rest 1 minute and complete 2 total rounds. So essentially you'll have about 8 minutes of work. Rest obviously is in there. Now if that's challenging, you're like, woof, that's really hard, even with the modifications, here's the second option. You'll do 30 seconds of everything. So 30 seconds of Russian twists, 30 seconds of the side plank rotations left arm, then you'll do the right arm, 30 and 30, then you'll do the 30 seconds of the hollow rock or hollow tuck hold or hollow hold position, any variation that you have. Then you'll rest 30 seconds and you'll complete 2 rounds of that. So the modification will be up to you in terms of where your fitness level is at. If you guys have any questions or need some more variations or modifications, leave a comment below. If you're new here and you want to support, please share with others. If you've been here before, please share with others as well. I appreciate all the support. The goal and the intention of my channel is to hopefully reach as many people as possible and inspire them to start their fitness journey or reignite their fitness journey if they've taken a break. Again, any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys next time.